episode of Sessions with Mary Jane. I'm your host, Jordan Freed, and I'm fried. It has been a long day, and we are on our final interview of the day, but we have a very special guest on the podcast. He grew up in the town right next to me. He's a gifted musician and is currently DJing all over the Northeast. And he's just an interesting, cool guy who has a lot of opinions. And I'm just excited to have him on the podcast. Give it up for Jose Velez.
Clapping for myself. I'm so happy to be here. This is a long time coming. I'm in a real podcast studio. I had 2 minutes to prepare, and I'm just like, oh, there's like cameras and lights and everything.
Yeah, no, it's really happening.
Yeah.
But you look cute.
Thanks, man. We came a long way, bro. We came a long way from Warwick/Greenwood Lake, New York.
Right? Long way. You've been in the city how long now?
Like 5 years now.
Weird.
So I've worked in the city forever, but like past 5 years I've been living in Brooklyn, and it's like never thought I'd be living in Brooklyn, dude. I was like the butt of my own jokes. I was just making fun of people living in Brooklyn. And just
wow, you were that guy before you moved.
A lot of my friends live there, and I just like reap the benefits of living in Brooklyn. And I'm just like, I don't know how people live here and have roommates and whatever. But now I'm like, I live in Park Slope, Brooklyn, and I'm just like the butt of everyone's joke.
Yeah, so, no, you have to live long enough to become the butt of the joke.
Life comes fast, bro.
Yeah.
Life comes fast, you know. Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Wow. So many things to cover. So many things to talk about.
A lot happening.
Let's lead with what you've been doing, like with this DJ. Because like you've always DJ'd, but like now it has kind of a different sauce.
Yeah. So basically, a little background. I like DJ'd my way through college. I was the like local bar DJ for a long time, and I got sick of it because it's just like it's hack at this point, but it's like everyone's a DJ now. Everyone's a DJ.
Yeah.
You live in Brooklyn, everyone's a DJ. But I fell out of love with it for a while. Like I got more into like my production and my music stuff, and then life gets in the way. I'd never really put out a project, but I wanted a place where people could chill. You know what I'm saying? Like I never made an album, so I can't be like, oh, we're gonna invite everyone to the album release because my album never came out. But everyone around me was kind of doing stuff that was adjacent to that. So I started helping out more. Like, you guys did a film. I helped you with the music for that.
Yeah,
like,
you did the score to 100 Words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
My buddy Brandon, shout out Heartsick Hermes. Follow him, Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms. Heartsick Hermes. We started working together. And I started being like, maybe I'll start dipping my toes back into DJing. I took a couple of gigs, but then, just digital DJing at this point is just, I still do it. Don't come for me, digital DJs. Like, I'm still doing it, but like, it wasn't rewarding for me. I gave up on it because I just like wasn't fulfilled. I'm working in bars. I'm working in clubs. How many tickets can you sell? 0. I'm not selling tickets. Never sell tickets if you're not being paid to sell tickets. Like, I don't know. There's just like a point of entry that like I don't agree with. So I just stopped. I put it on the back burner. The money wasn't there. But I have a huge record collection, so part of me was like, yo, why don't I just start?
How big is it right now?
Like, I'm at like, I started giving away my personal albums just to make space for singles. I'm at like 500 singles right now. I'm in the barrels, bro. I'm in the racks, just like picking up whatever. I'm traveling for it now just to like pick up new things. I'm too lost in the sauce, but I say that to say this. I picked up vinyl DJing. And it just like it relit the flame. Like the spark is there now. Like I've been booked more consistently now than ever. Like the market's so saturated for DJs, especially people my age. I'm 32 years old. And like, what am I going to compete with? Like the young, hot 21-year-old DJ who like is tapped into all the new like streamers, Playboy Cardi, Blackboy Max. I'm just like, I'm not there. So it's like I had to go back kind of a little bit. Like, because I like the stuff anyways. Like I have a record collection at home. Like I listen to vinyl when I'm an album listener. But like,
for sure.
It became like a gap in the market at the same time as I got into it, maybe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's just like it all happened at the same time. And I've been booked more consistently now than ever.
Yeah.
From making the switch to analog.
Like fucking tapping.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that is like the most popular DJing is like tapping the drum pads.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like the Fred again model where you're just like, And that's all fake, bro. Like, he's doing it, but like everyone who's like, when you see little inside baseball, when you see the DJs on Instagram in these like heavily like perfectly lit things, and they're doing like, it's fake. It's not real. There's like there's so few people doing like and even like the selection style, like people like DJing, and it's just like a bunch of people standing behind them, and they just blend two songs. It's all fake. It's all manufactured. And like, good for them. I don't have the patience or the like money to do that, I guess. But there's like, next time you're scrolling and you see like someone being like, oh, and they're just like zooming in on people's faces, and there's like a $10,000 camera setup. It's all fake. You're not catching everyone's reaction like that. Like, yeah, I'm talking too much, I think.
No, you're not talking too much.
I think I'm giving too much, like, I don't know. I feel like
you're giving too much air to those DJs.
I feel like
now people are gonna look them up, and then their algorithms are gonna get poisoned with all of these TikTok DJs.
I just know that if you have an algorithm like mine and you're seeing like blends, and my friends who like are passionate about music, who like support what I do, send me these things. They're like, yo, maybe you should try this. I'm like, yo, I'm not like, I don't have representation. Like, I don't have an agent, so I can't make videos like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it takes a lot to have that kind of production value.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I think everyone now sees that, which is, again, it's good and bad that there's more DJs. Everyone sees those things and they're like inspired by like the bedroom DJ using the little $200 Newmark controller. That's cool. These like overproduced things, and you're trying to make it something that it's not, you're never going to achieve that. Again, you don't have bookings, because you get into these people, you like look a little bit into it. They got 1 million followers. A lot of them are bots, but they have people backing them. And it's just like, yo, why is there a whole like, there's a whole market that wasn't there for DJs now. And it's just all about optics. It has nothing to do with music. It has to do with like, how many followers, how many like clicks can you get? Can you partner with Nivea and sell lotion? Like, that kind of stuff. It's just like, it's bleak.
Isn't that kind of where all the music industry is going? That like the things that come onto your algorithm are already so faceless that people just accept AI music because they've been taking fake artists for years that are not real artists and have 2 tracks made by some songwriter, and then you just slap their name on it, and it's just a thing for a year. They play Coachella on one of the small stages and then disappear into obscurity.
It's pretty much that, and it's just like, I don't know, it's bleak to think about, which is why I'm like, you know, let's get back to the roots of everything. Let's go back to when you had to have a mixer and like an actual physical media collection. The thing that makes me hopeful about this whole thing is like, one, the response to me doing this, and like the love I get, the business cards I'm passing out, the gigs I'm getting booked off of other gigs that I do, all-time high for me.
Hell yeah.
It's great. It's like a second business. I'm saying no to things at this point, which is great. I never had to say no to anything. I used to be like, yo, I need to book gigs, or I can't pay my rent, or I can't like afford to do whatever. I had no car payment this month. Like, now I'm in a position where I'm just like, I can't do that because I'm booked for this, and this, you know?
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
It's a great place to be.
Booked and busy.
Yeah.
And that's good for you, because you've had a lot of odd jobs in your life, right?
I worked every job under the sun. We might have discussed this like on the previous iteration of this podcast, maybe, or maybe just
very possible.
Possibly.
Did you come on the original?
I think I was there.
Oh, word! So
we were in the old studio. Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
That's why it's Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a Christmas miracle.
It's back. Goes to podcast pass, dude. That's where we're at. But no, I've worked every job under the sun before this. And DJing's not my full-time job. Don't hit me up on some, can you DJ at my coffee shop at 7 a.m. because I can't. Sorry. I get those kind of requests sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, like, actually, I have a job. Like, and they're just like, oh, well, you know.
Unless they're like...
Unless, like, pay
100 racks.
Pay my rate, kind of. It's like, I had a situation, like, recently where these guys that I've been talking to on Instagram, they do, like, some parties in Brooklyn. They're like, yo, there's a record shop that I go to personally that I love. They're like, oh, we just started talking about whatever. And they're like, oh, we're tapped in with this let's do something with this record store. Can you do Sunday at 9 a.m.? And I'm like, I'm on call for work. I can't, kind of, unless you can match my rate, because they were pushing. Like, no, like, what can we do? Like, we've been trying to talk about this. I'm like, yo, could you pay my rate? I'm not going to disclose what it is for my actual job. And they're just like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, I understand. Take the money. And I'm like, yeah, no, for sure. But next time, right? You know, next time we'll do it.
What is something about elevators that most people do not know.
All right, so we're gonna get into this. I'm an elevator and escalator mechanic in New York City. Elevators are the safest place you could be. If you ever get stuck, you're safe. Don't believe the propaganda against elevators that have been around since like movies have started.
There's no counterweight system that's going to throw you into the ceiling.
The counterweight actually protects you.
Oh.
Most people, if you watch any, like, what's that bullshit ass movie, with the elevator horror movie where it's just like the elevators possessed or some shit. I never seen it, but it's just I
don't
saw.
know, that sounds sick. I need to watch.
I think it's called. It might not be called Elevator. I don't know if it was an A24 movie, but it's just like an elevator and like on the poster everything's like red and scary. An elevator basically works like a seesaw. So if you're going, everyone thinks you would fall down. You would actually shoot up. If something catastrophic ever happened, you would go up because the counterweight is compensating for the weight. So you'd go that way.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks like, oh, you would free fall. The only way you would free fall is if somebody sabotaged it and like cut the ropes and the safeties, and then you would free fall. Like when we decommission elevators, we have to cut the ropes and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
And that's the only time that happens. We make sure no one's in the building when that happens.
I'm sure.
Like,
that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. When I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, that's like barbaric. Like, and they're like, no, that's how we do it. It's like that's the only way to do it.
How do you get rid of it? And like when it gets to the bottom, what do you do with it?
You just clean it up, I guess. You can
let it splat.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. Just like type in elevator decommission, and it'll show you like you just cut it at a certain point, and it just falls all the way down. And you just pick up the pieces later. It's usually in buildings that just aren't being used anymore. So it's just like after like a complete demolition.
No stakes.
Yeah. No stakes. And there's like a lot of protocol. Like
I'm like, you're in the luxury apartment buildings in like New York.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the luxury apartment buildings.
Like, how are you lugging that out? Do you have a hand truck?
No, the luxury apartment buildings that are being built now that no one's gonna want to live in a couple of years because they're all just like McMansions and have been built quickly. Those are gonna be gone. Watch. Remember I said this 10 years from now. Remember I said this. That evil building in downtown Brooklyn that was like a multi-million-dollar construction project that everyone's moving out of now. Like, have you ever been in downtown Brooklyn by the Paramount Theater? There's a like building that looks like the ISR on. It's like the most evil-looking fucking building. Yeah. Tenants are moving out of there now because it was just built so shittily.
Wow.
And they were taking deposits. They just like really banked on the area being something, and it's just not at all.
Wow.
So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Like those buildings that were collapsing in Miami, it's gonna start happening in New York.
Yikes.
Get ready.
That's fun. Speaking of New York, are you excited about the new mayor?
A little bit. I don't vote. I'm apolitical. I vote in my union election, and that's it. Voting doesn't make me feel good, but I am fucking with Zoran Mondani a little bit. Yeah. It's cool. He's just another politician, but he's the only one talking about affordability and making things like affordable for people. I think the cool thing about him, like, I wasn't on board with him, low-key, because I'm just like, I don't vote again. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, great. All my friends who are like, who are you going to go and vote for? He's going to make. I'm like, yo, he's a politician. He's like anybody else. But the cool thing I saw is him actually having discourse with people. There's a video of him on Fordham Road. My whole family's from the Bronx, and he's on Fordham Road holding up a sign, oh, come talk to me, whatever. And it shows the last year when he was just like obsolete, and then this year. And the biggest thing that they were talking about was affordability. And he's talking to Trump voters specifically. He was talking to like Latino people and like black people and like, second generation, first generation immigrants about like what their concerns are. And they're like, yo, we're voting for Trump because he's the money president, because he's talking about this, that's this, and he cares about us. And he goes back a year later and they're having the same conversations about affordability. And now he's talking to Trump in the White House. Like, I'm dating this podcast, I guess. But it's like, yo, the same week he's talking to Trump, and Trump's like, I love this guy. Because they're all, even someone as insane as our president, Mr. Don't come for me. As someone as, like, they're just like, no two guys could be more dissimilar. Like, the two most, like, everyone's like, this is going to go so bad. And Trump himself was like, we had a great conversation, and their whole platform was talking about like, oh, how things are unaffordable and what they could do to do that, Yeah. To like rectify why things are so unaffordable, like why people can't afford groceries. Which is super bleak that we have to even be talking about this, but it's just like, I think, I don't know. I think he's doing a good job. For a politician, like someone I just like wasn't really believing in at first, like he's impressed me.
I think culturally he's gonna be very good for New York.
Yeah,
because I think he's just gonna like bring back nightlife.
Yeah,
and then it's gonna be like, wait, those things are important because if people don't want to live here and there's not enough shit going on, then nobody makes any money. So like, how do we get that stuff ramped up again?
It's a whole industry that like, you know, it's like I worked in the service industry for a long time, and like I don't know how people are making it now. Like, I've been out of the game. I haven't bartended in years, but it's just like I feel for those people because it's like, I don't know, a lot of those people are on like assistance. Like a lot of people work a full-time job and are still on government assistance, and like the administration cut it last month, like, and everyone's like, how am I going to buy a turkey on Thanksgiving? It's like, yo, we live in America, bro. It's like, what are we talking about? It can't be like, it can't be stars and stripes and we're doing so good economically, like whatever. Like, I don't know, man. It's just,
it's like, even in like 2018, I feel like I had a friend who was like, yeah, just work a restaurant job and do doubles 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And that like pays my rent. And I was like, that's crazy. That's like good. Like that's the America I want to live in, where somebody could work like 3 long days and they pay for their rent. And it's like, that shit probably is almost next to impossible. Like maybe if you're at the bougiest restaurant, but I don't know.
I mean, that's what it was like for me in my experience. Like I never had a problem making money that way. And now it's like, you have to, if everyone's saying the same thing, you got to listen. If everyone's just like, yo, I can't work any more hours physically, I can't do it. And just like, I'm not seeing the same money. The money's different now. It's like, all right, so then we got to change it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, what's his name? Oh, Zoran. I'm down. Yeah, there you go. Praying for it. Mr. Mayor. Shouts to Mr. Mayor. No, I think culturally he's definitely doing good stuff, but he hasn't been elected yet. I'm not on this, like, everyone's like, oh, we did it. Like, we elected him. And it's like, yeah, but he has to do stuff, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, like, preemptively was like, yeah. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we got this dude out the office the first time, it's like, yeah, we did it. And then what? Like, the worst economy ever. Like everyone's suffering. It's just like, I don't know. We can't count our chickens. Like, I like the dude. I think he's swaggy. He's an Arsenal fan, so I'm with that. Up the Gunners. But we'll see. Like, we'll see.
Yeah. No, it should be interesting. I hope it brings good times.
I like how Maddie, like, another thing is I'm a hater. I like how much people hate this dude. Yeah, because I'm just like, yo, you live in Philadelphia, you live in Connecticut, you live in Minnesota. Why do you give a fuck about what Zoran Mondani's doing in New York? And he hasn't even taken office. It's just like, all the older dudes I work with are just like, yeah, he's like a socialist. And he's just like, and all these dudes bitch about, like, I'll be going out to lunch. Like, y'all want to get lunch? He's like, nah, lunch is so expensive in New York City. I can't do that. I'm like, all right, well, fuck y'all. I'm going to lunch. Like, you starve yourself if you want. So it's like, which one is it? Like, you want things to be cheap, or you just like, don't like the Muslim mayor? You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't sit here and fucking bullshit me and be like, oh, like, I just don't like his policies. I'm like, what, having a free bus and like free childcare so you can have a kid in the city to, you know, live in the city and bring money to the city that you work in, that you pay taxes in? Yeah. Or you just don't like that he's Muslim? Like, just like, let's just keep it a buck, bro. Just you have prejudice towards people that don't look like you. Yeah. And that's okay. Just stay the fuck away from me, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But don't make this
not to mention he'll be the most like pro-union. That's what I'm saying. Mayor in like 100 years.
I'm in a union and you can't convince these guys of anything. He's like, yeah, well, he's a socialist. I'm like, do you know what that means? They're like, what? Fuck you, you know? Like, it's just not good. My dad told me it wasn't good. Like, my family came from Italy. It's like, all right, bro, you live on Staten Island. You've never been to Italy. I've been to Italy. You haven't. You know? And they don't talk like you, bro. They don't call sauce gravy. It's like, you're just misinformed. You're scared of the boogeyman, bro. It's just like, that's fine. Live in fear then. Or, you know, have free buses and have free healthcare for your, you know. Yeah. Where did, like, instead of your tax dollars going to like all these people that you claim that you hate, why wouldn't you want it to go to like a single mother or like someone below the poverty line, you know? Yeah. Because the taxes are already coming out of your paycheck. Would you rather it go to like the departments that are supposed to be taking care of the potholes that don't get fixed, and you just like, oh, how much did they make last year? You want it to go to BlackRock? You want it to go to like all the people you claim to hate? Like, go ahead, but don't sit here and try to convince me about politics, bro. Yeah. Vote in union elections, you know? And he's the only dude talking about union stuff also, but like, I don't know. I could go all day. Yeah. I will say, though, Curtis Lewa, I was fucking with Curtis Lewa just because he's a hater. Again, going back to the hater shit. Yeah, no. I fuck with Curtis Lewa because he's just like, yo, I hate Andrew Cuomo. I will fucking say fuck you, Andrew Cuomo, till the day I die. He's never done shit. He said, Slapping fannies and killing grannies. I was like, I might vote. I'm a Democrat, but I was just like, yo, I might vote for this dude. That's nuts.
Like, yeah, he does have a great like villain origin story.
Yeah,
it was good to like just see him kind of get discovered on like a mainstream level, and
yeah,
people just be like, that type of guy existed, and it's like, yeah, that's what New York used to be like.
Yo,
like that guy was a normal New Yorker. Everybody was that. But that's the minority of New Yorkers.
He was doing wild shit. He just like made a group of guys be like, yo, we're all gonna wear red berets and we're gonna beat the shit out of teenagers who are causing trouble on the New York City subways, and we're gonna take it in our own hands. And it's just like, yo, we have police, bro. Like, and he's just like, nah, fuck that. We're doing that. Yeah. He also had a radio show where he kept talking shit about the Gotti family. Oh. Do you know about? Yo,
I do know where it ended up.
I just found out about this recently. He had a radio show where he would publicly talk shit about the Gotti family. They beat him with baseball bats, and then like the next show, he kept talking shit. They had someone pretend to be a taxi driver after that and like pick him up in front of his apartment and shoot him in the dick. And he jumped out the window and made it, and still was talking shit to this day. Like, I don't know. Can't speak on the man's politics, but just like that's a real hater, bro. I respect someone who hates that much and stands by his hatred of people.
When you look at like Eric Adams and Cuomo, you're like, those guys don't live in New York. No. With Mamdani and Sliwa, you're just like,
those dudes live in New York. The two opposite sides of the spectrum. Like some dude who lives in like deep Brooklyn and then like Astoria native. And then there's a dude that lives, God knows where Cuomo lives, bro. I don't know where he lives. And then Eric Adams who fakes his residence because his son lives in New York.
That shit was so funny.
It's hilarious.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Probably the worst policy ever in New York, but like I don't know. Once he's not the mayor anymore, they should put him on like Real Housewives of New York, bro.
He probably will be on some kind of
reality show. He'd be so good
show.
At that. They should just let it.
He'll be on fucking MSNBC every day.
Let him do that. He's like, yo, New York is the whatever he's talking about. Whenever he goes to another state, he's like, you know, like Turkey is the New York of like, he'll just be anywhere and he'll just be like, yeah, Dominican Republic is the Caribbean nation of New York. Like New York is the Dominican of the, and he's just the X of this is Y. Like, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Oh God. Well, that's some real New York shit.
Yeah. Give that guy a platform that's not politics, and I guarantee he'll be a star.
Oh yeah, he will be a star. What are you thinking about the Knicks this year?
I am the most mentally ill Knicks fan, so will tell you like the Knicks are gonna win the championship every year.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what you say right now.
It doesn't matter what I say. Everyone watching this who knows me is gonna be like, oh, here he goes. We look good. I'm not gonna put anything else into it. We look good. Everyone is a Knicks fan again. I live in Brooklyn. I live next to a school. All the kids who are wearing Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden jerseys are now wearing Jalen Brunson jerseys. So do with that what you will. New York Knicks are the cool team again after, years of being like, oh no, you're a Knicks fan. It's like you moved to New York 15 minutes ago and you're talking about, oh, how are you a Knicks fan? It's like you don't know anything about the history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like
sure. No, that's short sighted.
I don't know. I was doomed.
Even if you're a Nets fan, you say yes to Knicks tickets.
It's just like, yo, and the shit that
you understand what it is.
Yo, the shit that drives me crazy is like there's people who have never been to like the Izod Center in New Jersey. The first basketball game I went to, I wasn't far. We didn't live far from there. I was
you could have whipped down there in like 40 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like my dad took me to a New Jersey,
and I live there now. I don't know how my dad ever got there in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
Straight
my dad
shot.
Must have been driving like 90 miles per hour the entire way.
Just out
like Warwick to the Meadowlands, like having to go through Greenwood Lake.
But I've talked to like friends of friends or just like, people that I meet in my travels and we start talking about hoop and I'm just like, yo, I'm a Knicks fan. And they're just like, how are you a Knicks fan? Like the Brooklyn Nets. I'm like, yo, the Nets used to play in New Jersey. And like, they didn't know that because they just like went and bought the Biggie Smalls, Jean-Michael Basquiat Nets jersey because it's the cool thing to do. That place sucks, bro. That's a shit place to watch basketball. It's a shit arena. It's just like...
I think the Nets are going to have to move.
I'm a New York Liberty fan, bro. Like the WNBA is outpacing the Nets in sales. They play at Barclays Center.
Oh wow!
And when you go there, the vibes are incredible. It's like crazy. I go to so many games. I might be a season ticket holder, bro. Like
maybe it's because they're as old as like most people's lifespan in New York who
Well,
are living in Brooklyn. So
it's just like they've been
they
there
came around.
longer. Like I don't know if they didn't play there. They used to play at what was it? Where did they do the Rockefeller? They used to play at Rockefeller Center.
Really?
There was like I forget the story. Don't quote me on this, but there was a story where I feel like I think the Liberty was in the playoffs. And they would play like on the stage. Like you would sit there. Like imagine Rockefeller Center where you watch the Rockettes. They built a basketball like court on the stage. So you're watching from theater seats, which now would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, wow.
But like so few people went to the games. That's what was going on. And I think they booked a concert or something and they like had to reschedule the game. Don't know where they like ended up playing, but that's how like unserious that WNBA was at that time.
Wow.
But now you look at WNBA with like Caitlin Clark and like, you know, Paige Buchers, like the New York Liberty won last year. It's like it's fun, bro. Like
you could say you're an official fan.
I got a jersey. I have a Sabrina Ionescu jersey in my closet. I'm a real fan.
Give us a deep cut. Why don't you have a deeper cut?
Rebecca Lobo.
Okay.
Yeah, like come on. That's all I got. You went deep. That's all I got.
Where do you think the Nets should move?
The Nets should move back to Jersey, bro. We should reopen the Izod Center.
Newark is like on the up and up, and then they moved them out of Newark when Newark went through a transition that has like revitalized the city. I think in the past like 15 years.
I don't see any reason why they can't play at the Prudential Center, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like the PATH train goes there, so all these people that claim to be let's see who's a Nets fan, bro. Let's see who's a Nets fan. Like rebuild the fan base in New Jersey. I feel like people in New Jersey would be more loyal to their teams. Like I'm a Giants fan. I'm a New York Giants fan. I got to go to East Rutherford, New Jersey to watch a New York football team. And I go like an idiot and watch them go 2-18 on the season. We're trash. The Jets are trash. People from Long Island come all the way to New Jersey to watch like the Jets.
That's insane.
If you
that's
brought
so
teams,
wild. Like that's why the New York matters, because like if they were the New York Jets and Giants, they would be able to just come from Long Island and just be there.
Exactly.
But they have to go all the way through. That sucks.
But look at the Devils. Like I hate the Devils. I'm a Rangers fan. I've had very unpleasant experiences at Devils games.
Oh yeah.
The fan base is not my favorite. They say some unsavory things. We're not gonna get into it, but they come out. They show out. It'd be like a Wednesday night, and they show out to the games. Like, there's not that kind of loyalty for the Brooklyn, New Jersey Nets.
That's one of my stand-up jokes.
Yeah.
The New Jersey Devils are so good, they get white people to go to Newark.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's just like they don't even look past it. And the jerseys are tough. They have, like, the Trenton, like, I think they're, like, whatever the equivalent of, like, AAA teams are. They have like a black Devils jersey that just says Trenton instead of New Jersey.
Oh, that's sick.
Tough.
I never went there when I was working out in Trenton. But
it's
that was
so tough. It made me like a hater as a New York Rangers fan. I'm like, that's the coolest jersey I've ever seen.
Makes a lot of
just
sense.
all black. Like it's scary. I'm like, God, it's a scary jersey. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
But
no, those games are sick. They should bring the Nets back to New Jersey.
I think it would be better for basketball if they brought because everyone moved to New Jersey or like upstate like after COVID anyways, and all those people that are like have money, all the people that have money moved out of New York, like unless you're like some like tycoon like whatever.
There's so many fucking old people looking down from their windows on like those old ass like massive apartments from like the early 1900s that are just like
it's not like the people that like a lot of the new money people I know like got out of New York City. Like the people that are like trying to start families and like do whatever and spend money on like events.
Older millennials were like, this is a scam.
They just did. They all moved to Beacon and like whatever. But a lot of them moved to New Jersey. And it's like, yo, I think if you moved a team, like a basketball team or like put a baseball team out there, something like, you know, like why can't they play that? Why can't you put an MLB team down in Princeton? Why can't you put like another? Why can't you rebuild the Izod Center? Why can't they play at Prudential? Like, I think
they still have the Izod Center. They still like shoot shit there.
Really?
Yeah.
Just rebuild it, bro. Do it again. It was such better vibes over there. Like going to a Brooklyn Nets game is like going to the library. Like you can't. I go in as a Knicks fan. I go to a lot of like the Knicks Nets games, and you can't just like be yelling or like whatever because it's like a bunch of like Carroll Gardens moms bringing their kids, and you don't want to yell in front of them. It's just like. I'll give them that. That's the one cool thing the Brooklyn Nets do is that they give a lot of stuff to like kids and like schools and stuff like that. But then you got to watch a shit basketball team, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
I don't know. It's not worth it. Bring that shit back to New Jersey, man.
The Celtics trade fucked them forever.
Bad.
That was the downfall.
So stupid. And they had Kenny Atkinson. Kenny Atkinson is like the coach of the Cavaliers who were just like incredible. I wanted Kenny Atkinson when we were like rebuilding for the Knicks. I wanted Kenny Atkinson. Yeah. Really good with young dudes, like, and they just sold their whole future away.
It's so sad. It's also like Jay-Z has a long legacy of fucking over New Jersey.
Don't get me started on. Don't get me started on everyone's favorite rapper, bro.
I'm just saying it's not very convenient. It's very convenient that he took basketball out of New Jersey the same way he literally got New Jersey addicted to crack.
Yeah.
Making trips out to Trenton and shit.
Yeah, Jay-Z's a bad guy, bro.
Ask people in Trenton what they think about Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's a bad
guy. Not their guy.
He's a bad guy, bro. Yeah, Jay-Z is the finesser. He's just like, he made that secret album that he put out, and he's like, oh, giving financial advice. I'm like, I don't want to hear this shit, Jay-Z. Where he's like, I could have bought an apartment complex in Dumbo, and I'm regretting it. There's like actual lines in it where he's like, I had an opportunity to buy in Dumbo, and then he called himself a Dumbo, basically. And I was like, I don't think I need to hear any more Jay-Z songs, bro. Pharrell's not producing it, and the Neptunes aren't producing a Jay-Z song. I don't think I need to hear it. But Jay-Z's a finesser because he did the whole Brooklyn Nets like thing. He did like the 5 to 7 sold out shows at Barclays Center. And then he started a sports agency where he signed like Victor Cruz from the Giants and like a couple other athletes. And he's like, oh, I can't be like stake owner of the Nets because I can't. It's like a conflict of interest for me to represent other athletes and own a sports team. So then he sold it to like Josai and them. And that's the excuse that he used. And I'm just like, yo, whatever, man. Jay-Z grew his hair out and pretended to be Basquiat for a couple of years. And now we have to like deal with the repercussions.
Era,
yeah. And it's still affecting Brooklyn to this day, bro. It's just like, I don't know. I don't see no murals of Jay-Z in Brooklyn. I don't, not in that area where he like built the shit up. Because he just did like a pump and dump on everybody. And he just like, everything he's talking about is finances now, like how you could whatever, but he's not sharing the sauce. So it's like, fuck Jay-Z, you know?
Yeah.
Tell people how to get rich, bro. You got rich. Tell people how to get rich.
Yeah.
Stop giving the information.
Well, yeah, also just, employ people.
Yeah, also.
That's the easiest way. Like, just like spend a fuck ton of money on a big project and just
give people money, bro. Like, that's it.
Money.
But he's just making rap songs about like, oh, like financial shit. I'm like, I don't want to hear about this shit. It's also not for me because I'm just like, yeah, all right, this is maybe not for me, I guess. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's still Jay-Z people
old followers who are now like old heads.
Jay-Z was just never one of my favorite rappers, I don't think. So it's like, I understand the importance and like, there's some Jay-Z songs I love, but it's just like, I'm seeing the results of Jay-Z selling the Nets in real time, like, and him doing like the whole thing, like. The whole song and dance, and it's just like, this isn't good for anybody, I don't think.
Yeah. Who are your top 3 rappers?
I had this drunk debate with people all the time.
So you have an answer?
It changes.
Depends on how many drinks
it changes, but like, I don't know. I think Future's my favorite rapper ever, and that's annoying. Wow. That's an annoying take to have, but it's just like, I don't know. I can go back and be like, yeah, my favorite top 5, Q-Tip, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. I'm not a Tupac guy. I am a Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest guy, but then I go back and I listen to Tribe Called Quest and it's like, it wasn't just Q-Tip, so I can't really use that as an answer.
Yeah.
If I could put groups, I would say Tribe. It had to be Future, Tribe, and Kanye if I had to do the 3. As controversial or whatever, we don't like Kanye West, but like,
no, I think that works,
bro. People don't give a fuck the way you think people care. Like, the internet's not fucking real. I was in a bar in the Lower East Side the other day, and flashing lights came on, and there was like 100 people in this bar, and everyone in unison was just like rapping the lyrics to Flashing Lights, and it's like, don't condone it, but it's just like, we listen to Michael Jackson songs, we like the Beatles, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
like,
yeah,
we're not too far removed from like
rocking R. Kelly songs.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I've been in places in the past 2 years, and they're like playing Remix to Ignition, and just like, all right, that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, I think nostalgia beats it out.
Yeah,
and like, people would rather their childhoods not be ruined.
People don't care that much. Yeah. Like, if we went back to our parents' catalog, and it's just like, we could find all the things that are problematic about like what our parents used to listen to. Like, every rock song was like, oh, she was a 13-year-old, she was just 16, whatever. Like, I forget the exact example.
That's such a weird genre of music. The rock song about teenagers being hot.
Yeah, I was just like listening to something the other day. I couldn't put my finger on it. It might be 38 Special. I'm so caught up in you, little girl. I'm like, damn, bro, what? I'm like, when you start paying attention to the lyrics of a lot of things, you're just like, all right, man, it was a different time, but like, my morals stay the same, I think, you know? I don't know. John Lennon got some questionable songs. John Lennon used to hit his kid and stuff, and like, you know,
oh wow,
he's got some not great songs. He's got some not great not chill things in his catalog, but we all love the Beatles, so I don't know.
Oh wow.
It's complicated.
I don't
bro.
know that much about John Lennon.
It's complicated. It's very complicated. It's just like, I don't know. I enjoy the people's music, so it's like I'm not here to police everything, but like
yeah. It's also like you have one life. Like you're literally gonna just like have a worse life and not enjoy an art form that you like because you're like, this guy that I'm never gonna meet did something.
Yeah.
And
Hey, he did this. You like this? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I don't know. I grew up like Chris Brown, Rihanna. Like that shit happened, and it's like
I spend $10 in streaming on an artist max in a year. Like I'm not helping anybody that much. Like I play a movie on Netflix that has somebody who's canceled. Like I'm not really helping anybody,
bro.
Like,
it's just like all the Weinstein. Like how many movies are just like instant classics, and the first thing it says is produced by Harvey Weinstein? You know what I'm saying? It's like horrible. It's horrible. That man,
I was just watching one recently.
That man he's so never gonna see the gates of heaven, bro. Like if you believe in that, whatever. Like
Kevin Smith, stoner nice guy.
Yeah,
there would be no Kevin Smith without Harvey.
Real demon, bro. Like real horrible guy. Like shit has no place in society. But it's just like I don't know. It's really complicated. I try to like tread lightly on like the subjects. I don't know. Whatever. I'm with the victims or whatever that happened.
For sure.
You know. I'm like just like.
I just mean like there's too much information.
It's too much. And like if you knew that at the time, we would not support it. I would hope. I personally like I was knowing what was going on. Like
I would have stepped in front of Harvey Weinstein.
I would have done something about it, bro.
I would have said no, don't go up to his room alone.
Not again. Not one more. But nah, it's fucking horrible. And it's like that's something you have to be cognizant of now with like artists. Like now if I hear like someone modern day is doing bad shit, I'm like, all right, step away. I'll never support it because I buy music. Like I have to buy music from DJing. Like I can't steal music. Like that's my contribution to this shit, which is going back into DJing. It's like a lot of these motherfuckers are stealing music and they're passing it off as their own, or they're just like profiting off of things and not paying for the music that they're playing in like a gig.
Are there royalties on records? Like technically, hypothetically?
On records? I have no idea. You'd have to ask.
Because like is that like grandfathered into when records started, that it was just like you buy these and you can play them as much as you want?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like all those guys got raw deals like back then when you were talking about like physical copies, because like there's some dudes that died with $0. Like a lot of guys signed to Motown Records died with $0. Like they were not taking care. Berry Gordy was not taking care of people like that. But I'm talking about like real like sales from like iTunes store. So say I'm doing a digital gig, I have to buy everything. There was a time where I wasn't doing that, sorry. But you know, like if you're profiting off of like a gig, if you're getting paid to be somewhere and you're playing the artist, you need to buy their music. That's something I stand on. I'm like, you need to buy, because you're not doing anything. If you didn't make the music that you're playing and you're making money off of it, you have to pay the person for the songs that they made that you're playing.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's wrong. I feel like if you're not contributing anything, all you're doing is, you know, I'm not saying all you're doing is pressing buttons as a DJ, but it's like, yo, if someone's paying you for your time and your music collection, you better make sure that you're paying the people that are putting you on, basically. Like, because if not for these people, you wouldn't have any music to play.
Yeah.
You know? And people like DJs use the excuses like, oh, well, I signed up for a DJ pool and I pay $10 a month or whatever. And it's like, yo, they're not making any money off of this shit. Yeah. They make zero off streaming. These fucking DJ pools they have to put out for promotional things because their labels make them put this shit out. So guys like you could be like, oh, I could play like whatever remix. Just like, yo, just give the people the money. How does it cost $1? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many songs are you playing a night? Like, first, like every quarterly, you should check in with what you're listening to and just be like, yo, let me buy everyone's music that I'm going to play in a set.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing anything else, like if you're just a DJ, like you need to support people. Because like you expect people to come to your gigs and buy drinks. And, you know, when you want to do whatever, like support you, like a lot of these DJs are buying, like selling tickets to their friends. I don't sell tickets. Like I don't go to any place that makes me sell tickets. Yeah. You're going to charge your friends $20 a head to get in to go see you DJ. And then the bar is going to make how much money off the bar. And you're not going to support the artists that are like responsible for you having the gig in the first place. Yo, you're wrong. You shouldn't be a DJ. Yeah. You're not here for the right reasons, you know?
No, that's super real.
You have to support people. It's like the only way this shit goes, and especially now with this AI bullshit, because it's just like, why do you need a DJ? And it's like, that's right. Why do you need a DJ if like Spotify now has like a DJ feature. It's not good, but nobody knows what's good anymore. Like this next generation of people aren't gonna know what it's like to go to a house party or go to a club or whatever. Yeah. Not that club culture is my thing, but it's just like, yo, there was a time, not in my lifetime, that people would go to clubs because the DJs were the only people with music.
Yeah.
So it's like you would only know about music because of DJs.
Definitely.
Now the DJ's a jukebox, which, listen, whatever, I get money off those gigs. Like, I do private gigs. Yeah. Like, I want you to play this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, sure, pay my rate. Here's the invoice. Like, I'll do that. I'm not like, I don't have an ego about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of these new DJs are like, oh, like, not taking requests, but they don't pay for their music. So they just like think they need to command a room, but they have no taste because they've never been in a place where they're like the tastemaker.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, I DJ'd in my bedroom for 6 months and now I'm ready for like the club. That's why DJs get a bad rap too, because it's just like these people who've never been nowhere, who just like watch videos of like big festival DJs like Fred Again or just like whoever's a big fucking name in DJing now. Like, they never did the work to like get to where they were, but they want instant gratification because it's like, well, I saw that this guy did it and he did a club and there was like a bunch of people dancing, and if like I'm not getting that, then I'm gonna be mad. And if somebody comes up to me and asks for a request, I'm gonna be like, fuck you, like, I'm playing my shit. But it's like, yo, if you're in a bar, like, you're a jukebox basically. You do the thing. Like, you can still get your shit off. Like, I had to learn that. Like, a part of me was like mad when people would come up to me like, well, you're not fucking with my music. It's just like, yo, nobody has any etiquette. Because again, these people are your age. They never been nowhere. A lot of people spent 4 years inside and they don't know what club culture is because they've never been to a club. So they just want instant gratification. So yeah, I think DJs need to humble themselves a little bit because it's like, unless you're really nice with it and you can really back your shit, like, take requests.
What do you think we're losing by like losing bar culture? Because especially where we grew up, I feel like there is like the towny bar aspect of it. Now you're in like the more club, like it's an event. Like, people worked really hard to cultivate this space. Like, and then like we definitely come from a culture where it's just like, there's nothing to do. Let's go get drunk. Yeah. Like, let's go to the town bar because that's where people go. Because I don't know how to get in contact with these people unless I go to the bar.
Right. I just don't think people care. I think everyone's like
they're ready for it to die.
They just don't want it. And it's just like the reports of like, oh, millennials are drinking less, and the bars are like, how do we get people back in? It's just like, yo, it's chopped. Like, they don't care. Like, everyone's more individualistic, I think, nowadays. I don't think people need the approval that like our generation needed, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to be candid, like, yo, half the reason I started DJing is just like, yo, I need to meet people. Like, I'm having trouble like doing whatever, and every time I talk to somebody who's a stranger, we talk about music, and I have good music taste. So I'm just like, yo, all right, let me just like parlay that into like making money on the side, or just like being in control of a party. Yeah. I don't think the younger generation has that in them. I think they've just like seen too much, maybe. Like, I think it's tough. My brother's 21, like he's about to be 21 years old, and he's just like, wow, could not give a fuck about bars or whatever. But he makes music, and he's just like, yo, I'm just getting nice at this. Like, I want to make music for myself. He don't need to like, he doesn't want attention. Yeah. A lot of people like our age and generation below us have this like chip on their shoulder. It's like, and it's weird now too, because I'm 32, bro, and like guys my age are just like, yeah, these young motherfuckers, like, these kids are packing out rooms. Like, the good examples of it, these kids are doing it the right way. They're packing out rooms. And these guys are like, yeah, man, but you never had to scratch on a turntable or do none of this stuff. Like, these kids have no respect nowadays. And it's just like, yo, you have a family, bro. Like, shut up. Let these kids have fun. Like, let these kids have fun, because now you're your parents. Like, you're, like, hating on the craft that you claim to love. Just because someone that's not you doing it doesn't mean it's invalid. It's just like, you're a fucking hater, and you lost it at some point. You're not cool anymore. I've worked with dudes like this. When I first started DJing, I was packing out rooms. I'm in college. Like, yeah, of course I have friends that live in the fucking area and want to come see me do something, because I was doing it in their houses for free. Yeah. So now we could do it at a bar, and they give me a bar tab, and, like, what's there to hate on? Yeah. And there's some old motherfuckers being like, oh, well, you're playing hip-hop, you're doing this. It's like, yo, you play whack shit. You're playing, like, freestyle from the 90s, and you're expecting someone my age to be like, oh, yeah, that's so cool. Alice DJ is awesome. I want to hear Show Me Love 13 times. Like, yo, just everything moves, and you got to move with it. If I can learn how to use turntables and DJ off that and get booked more than some of my old constituents who are just like, yeah, back in the day, you kids don't know nothing about this. I'm like, yo, I'm playing the same records that your mom had, and I'm getting paid for it. And you're sitting there on the internet being mad at young people younger
Yeah.
than me. I'm just like, yo, like let these kids have fucking fun, bro. Like, what are you, the police? Like, come on, let these kids cook. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm maybe 9 years removed from some of these kids, and they're having way more fun than me, like in these spaces. So it's just like, what do you want to do? You want the art to die? Something that you like worked hard at? Like you want it to just go away?
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it is going away now because like kids aren't really clubbing like that. I think they're just like moving towards something else, and I don't know what it is yet, but. That's on them. That's
like
on them.
music is in people's lives, but it's in like stupid ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like people watch TikToks and reels, and it's like,
and that might
they
be
like a song from a TikTok and reel, and they're like, "What is that? I'm gonna put that on my TikTok or reel."
Yeah, that might be the new DJing. Like I
It
don't
is,
know.
in a lot of ways. Yeah.
It is, but like a lot of these bedroom DJs translate in real life. I saw this kid. His name is Nick Cho.
Okay.
And he's like some Instagram DJ, and he just blends like weird music. Like he'll blend like a Limp Bizkit song with like a Pink Panther song.
Oh, let's go.
And it's cool. And I saw it in real life. And these kids and people my age, like it was a mixed crowd. Like he was opening up for Rico Nasty.
Oh wow, hell yeah.
It was like some weird thing I saw. It was like a weird like pop-up show. And this kid opened up for Rico Nasty. And I'm watching him. And this kid's my age. I took my little brother who's 20 years old. And he's just mixing like bullshit with bullshit, like mixing corn with like Playboy Cardi, and people were going fucking crazy. Like,
yeah.
And that's just some kid that I saw Instagram doing like whatever on like a $200 mixer, and he's just making shit happen. And I'm like, this is cool. I wish he would put this on streaming. Like, I wish he could get the rights to like do that.
Yeah.
But he's doing it in front of a live crowd, and people are going fucking bananas. And I'm like, yo, this is what it is. I'm like, if this is what it is, like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm big
because he's using music theory, like he's mixing in key. I'm just like listening as like a DJ. I'm like, yo, this kid's like, he's not bullshitting. He's not like fading in and out of songs. Like he knows what he's doing, and he's using cheap equipment. But I'm like, yo, this kid, I feel like the kids are all right, bro. I'm like, yo, this is what we got. Like I'm cool with that, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
This has been really fun, man.
Yeah. Sorry for rambling, guys.
No, not apologies for rambling. No, it's people are gonna want to listen to this. This is some good music talk. I haven't had a lot of music people in here since the reiteration.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back in the studio in the new Gotham production studios. Follow you on social media.
Yeah, Valez on vinyl on Instagram. I'm putting up mixes on Mixcloud. I don't know if anyone has Mixcloud as a platform. Go to Mixcloud, follow me. I'm posting mixes like weekly now. I'm trying to be more frequent with my stuff.
What is Mixcloud?
Mixcloud is one of the only platforms that you can actually throw mixes on, because a lot of time I put stuff on YouTube, it gets DMCA complaints, and they take, because it's like, copyrighted music, so it gets taken down. But Mixcloud lets DJs do full mixes with like their music collection, and yeah.
Oh wow.
Still getting used to it, but it's the only place to my knowledge. If any of you out there know and another one, let me know. But Mixcloud's the platform right now. I'm trying to put out like weekly, bi-weekly mixes.
I kind of want to look at your arms. Like, how do you bring all these records everywhere? Like, how yoked are you at this point in your life?
Like, under the shirt, bro.
Is it just beer muscles, or it's like,
it's
are you lifting on a regular basis? So like how heavy is that box? That box must be 60 pounds.
It's like 3 or 4 different bags plus the controller a lot of times, but
multiple trips.
Subscribe on Instagram if you want to see it, man. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Not for free, not on the free platforms.
No, support physical media, because one day the internet's gonna be shut down, and you're gonna be like, what happened? We live in an authoritarian state, and they turned off the internet because there's only 5 companies that provide internet, and they could just shut it down if they want to. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Am I going to be hopeless? And it's like, no, this is why you buy books
No.
and you buy records.
Buy CDs, watch the Book of Eli with Denzel. Watch the Book of Eli, and then go buy everything that you love. Go buy Click on DVD. Go buy like anything that you love. Like I really believe in that. You need to like buy physical media. Yeah. Just like anything that you really care about is nothing better than like holding something in your hand. Like even video games, man. Like if you like video games, like I have friends that are into all types of shit. Like you like baseball cards, you like video games, you like CDs, DVDs. Buy physical media, because it's gonna go away someday.
Yeah, Spotify's gonna be $100 a month.
It's
like
being
Netflix
leased.
is gonna be $100 a month in like 2030,
Yeah.
2040. When is it gonna be $100 a month? Soon
You're gonna
enough.
have no choice, man. And it's
They
just
keep
like
raising it.
Yeah, if you love something, buy it so you can hold it in your hand. There's nothing like having physical media. If that's the only takeaway you get from this podcast, me rambling about politics, elevators, whatever, buy physical media. It's important. It's really important. And you're going to know how important it is in a couple of years when you don't have anything. And Spotify, Apple, all these places own everything and own the licensing to everything, and you just like can't say anything about it. If you want to watch the things you love, you're trapped, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, get a Blu-ray player, man.
They're amazing. Thank you, Jose, so much for joining the podcast. It was great seeing you, man. We will be back next week on Wednesday. Yeah, it might be a Christmas episode. I don't know where we're at that point. This might be the Christmas episode.
Could be.
Who knows? I don't know how math works or calendars. Have a good one, y'all.
Later.